everyone. Welcome to my channel, One Word with Me. I'm Jessica Julian, speech language pathologist. Today's activity is going to focus on 4 goals: following directions, repeating words, naming and identifying colors, and answering questions. All while reading our book, Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. This is a pretty popular story, and I've come to love this book just because it's fun and it's a great way to really to capture a child's attention and just include some movement. And I've done this story several times, and every time I read the story, my activity changed. It just kind of continued to evolve and over the course of time, right? So I want to be able to share a little bit of that with you today. So every time before I pick an activity, I think about the clients that I'm working with. I think about their goals, and I think about, well, what can I incorporate? So since I know this story is a pretty familiar story to me, I thought it would be cool to include some socks, right? Because we may not have every color shoe that's associated with the story, but I'm pretty sure we can find the socks. So we have the white socks, we have the red socks. Now look, it's not a solid color, but you can always improvise. The base color is red, so this would be considered my red sock. And then here's my blue sock and my brown sock. Yeah, my brown sock has some red polka dots, but again, we're improvising. The other thing I did to prepare for the activity is I just went online and found a picture of a shoe. And I printed it out, and then I cut it out, and then I ended up with these cool little things. So again, the shoe color matches the colors in the book. So this is what I use as my activity. So as we go through the activity today, you'll see how I incorporated it. Okay? So let's get to it. Pete the Cat, I love my white shoes. Now remember, it's important to always allow your child to be an active participant in the activity. So I never allow a child to take control of the book because, again, a lot of parents say to me, well, Jessica, my child just wants to turn all the pages in the book. And I said, well, you have to be in control of it. Hold on to it, but allow them to turn the pages, but on your cue. And that way they feel that they're in control, but yet you're really controlling it and they're actively participating in the activity. Okay, so with Pete the Cat, it goes. Pete the Cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much that he sang this song. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes. And right here's where we pause. And you can have your child get up and say, okay, go find the white shoe. And you can have the shoe spread out all over your living room. And you can have your child get up and go look for the shoe. And here, that brings us to our first shoe, the white shoe, right? And your child can bring it back to you. So that way we can incorporate the following direction and movement. And there's the first identification of color, right? And then once the child brings you the shoe, you can say, well, what color is the shoe? Okay. And now remember I talked about the socks. This is a good place to put on the socks and march around the house with your socks on. So that's another variation of this activity. Okay, let's continue. Oh no, Pete stepped in a large pile of. Great place to pause. I talked to my parents about pausing, giving your child an opportunity to respond to a question. You don't always want to immediately give the response because that's how you really draw them in to, again, actively participate. And right here, if you pause, that allows them to name what they see. Well, they might not say strawberries, but it gives them an opportunity to think of anything that might be red and they can say it. But in this case, it also gives you a question right here. What color did it turn his shoes? Right? So not all books provide you with a question, but you can look for them. And that's a great way, again, to incorporate answering questions. So right here, what color did it turn Pete's shoes? Red. Great. Go find the red shoe. Go, 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 go. And then your child finds the red shoe and brings it back to you. Or again, that's at which point you can put on red socks and you all can march around. Either one is fine. But again, notice the theme here. We're making it fun. We're making it interactive. Following directions. They're getting to name the colors and identify the colors at the same time. Okay? So then next it brings us to the blue, right? Same thing. Go find the blue shoe, or put on the blue socks and march around, giving your child to, again, practice the following direction. It remains the same. Go find X color, right? Or put on X color, right? So that's how the theme is repetitive in terms of your question as we're reading through the book. And I talked about repeating, okay? So then with the song right here, the song is the same. I love my, and then the child can say blue shoes. I love my, and they can finish blue shoes. It's repetitive. So repetition is also great when children are learning language and you're just teaching words to build their vocabulary. So it's great to be repetitive when doing activities because that's what helps a child learn as well. Okay. So next is where Pete steps in mud. So your question here that you can ask, well, what color will the mud turn his shoes, right? So you pause, brown. And then what happens when you step in mud? Your shoes get all dirty. So what do we need to do to clean our shoes? Wash them. So there's another WH question, another question that you can ask your child to answer. But again, if your child isn't quite yet at that level yet, it's okay to tell them because again, we're modeling language, we're building their communication skills, building their expressive language skills, their receptive language skills, their comprehension of language, okay? And then that brings us to the end of the book where he steps in water. That's where his shoes get all clean. And, oh, this is a great one. I just thought of this. And what happens when Pete stepped in the bucket of water, all the brown and all the blue and all the red? And right here, you can have your child take off the socks or go put the color shoes away. You can have them do that. So again, making this story interactive and you can adapt this type of activity to any book, okay? And at the end, when he stepped in water, it turned his shoes what color? White. So there, we can bring the white shoe back in. Okay, so that brings us to the next part of the activity. Remember my little paper here where I printed off the shoe? If your child is of cutting age, you can ask your child, well, we need to cut out the shoe. What do we need to cut out the shoe? And right here, scissors, that's right. So if your child is of cutting age, you can hand them a pair of scissors so that they can cut out their shoe. And I know we all have crayons, so right here, a used box of crayons. Again, things you have in your home, nothing that you need to go out and buy. Use the things that you have in your home. Yes, it takes a little creativity and imagination, but I know you have it in you. But also, I'm here to help you with that. So you can ask your child, well, what color do you want to color the shoe? Blue, red, or brown? Great, you want to color the shoe red? Let's get red. And you can hand your child a crayon and you can color, color, color. And also to make it, to incorporate turn taking, you can say, can mommy have a turn? Can daddy have a turn? And allowing your child to give you the crayon, you color, 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 give it back. So there's the shared activity of taking turns, each one having an opportunity, having a turn to color the shoe. Okay? And if you want to take it a step further, you can allow your child to pick his or her own color. What is your favorite color? Right? So letting them pick their color from the box. So I'm pretty sure you noticed that some of my shoes had holes in it. Yes, I made holes in the shoe. And that way it allowed me to lace the shoe. So this is again for an older child who's maybe learning how to tie a shoe, lace shoelaces. I just used a piece of yarn. If you don't have yarn, you can easily remove the laces from your shoes or your child's shoes and use it to lace up their paper shoe. Great way to work on lacing and tying shoes. Okay? I hope you found this activity as exciting as I did. I love doing things like this. So just to recap, we targeted following directions, we targeted repeating, we targeted answering questions, and we targeted naming and identifying of colors. All right? So I hope you found this tip to be useful and exciting. And I look forward to you dropping in the comments of how you did this activity at home or something similar. Continue to follow me. Make sure you subscribe to One Word with Me. I'm Jessica Julian, speech language pathologist, and I'll see you next time. Take care.